going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Let's start. Before we get to some baseball scores like we usually start off with, let's talk about some gigantic piece of NFL news. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets is official. The Jets have acquired Packers' former four-time MVP starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. They also get the 15th pick in the NFL draft, as well as a 5th-round pick this year's draft. The Jets signed to the Green Bay Packers the 13th pick in this year's draft, pick 42 in the second round of this year's draft, a 6th-round pick in this year's draft, and a conditional second-round pick in 2024 that turns into a first-round pick in 2024 if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the plays. So that will most likely be a first. So here's my take on it. You can say this and that about giving up, most likely be a first rounder next year. You can say this and that about how many draft picks they gave up. The Jets did not have a choice. They did not have a choice. All the backup plans are off the board. The Derek Carr is the New Orleans Saint. Jimmy Garoppolo is the Las Vegas Raider. Even Gardner Minshew's off the board. I believe he's with the Indianapolis Colts. The only other option was, I know Ryan Tannehill is available for a trade. He's probably the most average quarterback in the league. Could he get just to the playoffs? He possibly could. You might be able to you can probably win 9 games, maybe 10 of Tannehill. But with Rodgers, unless something goes haywire, you're locked in for at least 9 and probably getting 10 or 11 on paper. Of course, in the NFL, things could go completely haywire. It's the Jets. They always screw things up. But on paper, Jets are a 10 to an 11 win team with Aaron Rodgers. It's the same team, if not slightly better, than they had last year with the worst quarterback maybe in the last 10 years, and they went 7-10. Tell me they can't win. They're not 3-game wins better with Aaron Rodgers. So you look at it, they swap first rounders. They move back 2 spots from the 13th pick to the 15th pick. That's not a big deal. You give up a second round pick. But the Jets have 2 second rounds. They still have a second round pick. And second round picks are very important. There's still a lot of value in the second round in every NFL draft. They still have a second round pick. And obviously, you get the extra 5th. They give a 6th, whatever. That doesn't matter. Whoever they take with that pick is most likely not going to become anything. And it'll most likely be a first round pick next year. In a perfect world, would that be a second round pick next year? Maybe a little bit more protection on it. Maybe it would be, you get Rodgers has to play maybe 90% of the players, or he just has to make the playoffs or something. Yeah, but this is a team that, remember, the Jets have not been in the playoffs it's been 12 years since they've been in the playoffs. Not won a playoff game, not won a playoff game, not been in the Super Bowl. Been to the playoffs in 12 years. And they haven't had not even a franchise quarterback, but they have not had a good quarterback in, I can't remember when. Haven't had a franchise quarterback since Joe Namath, and he retired in the 70s. And outside of that, all right, Ken O'Brien had a couple of good years in the mid-'80s, but they also took him over Dan Marino, who was an all-time great. Vane Testaverde, who was horrible at being the first pick in the draft with Tampa, had a couple of decent years with the Jets in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Chad Pennington had a couple of decent years in the mid-2000s. Mark Sanchez's first 2 seasons, in 2009, 2010, he was pretty good. Then he fell off a cliff, and since then, they've had probably the worst quarterback play in the league. Maybe Cleveland might be the worst, or, Denver's been pretty bad. Washington's up there. But Jets have had the bottom 4 quarterback play at the least. For the last, I would say, at least 25 years. They're one of the worst franchises in all of American sports. They're horrible. They are absolutely terrible. So to say that, they gave up too much, what do you want them to do? And the Packers don't care. They're done with Rodgers. He retired. They don't care. They don't. They haven't cared. They didn't care about Aaron Rodgers in 2005. Why would they care about him in 2023? That's just the truth. So, Also, for the Jets, you cannot run Zach Wilson back out there. You cannot do that. Also, if you're Robert Saleh, you don't make the playoffs, you're gone. You are gone. If you're Joe Douglas, first of all, if Joe Douglas didn't get this trade, he started on the spot. When the report came out that he wasn't coming to the Jets, within 3 minutes, Joe Douglas was out of a job. If the Jets don't make the playoffs, Robert Saleh is out of a job. Joe Douglas is out of a job. Nathaniel Hackett is out of a job. All these guys are out of a job. So the Jets did not have a chance. Nobody they should have drafted somebody. Who are you going to draft? You're not getting Bryce Young. You're not getting Stroud. I don't think you're getting Anthony Richardson, who I'm not even sold on. I don't know what people see in Will Levis. I don't know what the difference is between him and Zach Wilson. The only thing that they do different is that I don't think Zach Wilson puts mayo in his coffee. And I don't think Will Levis, goes and bangs people's moms. And by the way, Zach Wilson saying, "Oh, we're gonna make the veterans' life hell." Good luck. And he can't. And the bad news for him is he can't even go bang Aaron Rodgers' mom because he doesn't even care about his family. So good luck, Zach. Look, I know I heard people say maybe you draft Hendon Hooker. Look, I like Hendon Hooker. First of all, he's a project, and second of all, I think the 50 pick is a little bit too rich. I can see maybe Minnesota at 23, maybe him going in the top 25. I know, a lot of people might say that might even be rich, but I think he can be a top 25 pick. The top 50, I think, is a little rich, and I don't think he's ready to start yet. I think he's a year or two away. So they have to do this. And at the end of the day, you gave up, you swapped first, you have a second and a first next year. Forgot, in Aaron Rodgers, when you put pieces around what the Jets have, a very good running game with Breece Hall coming back. Bam Knight's pretty good. A nice receiving core. You got Garrett Wilson, who's a stud in the making. Al Lazard, who obviously he's familiar with. He's pretty good. A speed threat in Mecole Hardman. You got a decent tight end in Tyler Conklin. The O-line isn't great, but looks like they should be able to still draft a solid lineman with that 15th pick. They just re-signed their starting center, Colin McGovern, who had a good year last year. Vera Tucker coming back is a really good young guard. Mekhi Becton actually looked like he's finally working hard. I mean, he's lost about 50 pounds, down to 350. I would like to see him get back to his draft weight, which I think was about 343, 346. But he's right around that. He looks good. Looks like he's finally working hard. Could he be an option, maybe? So I think O-line will be better. With this team, Rodgers can still be a solid starter. Is he going MVP? No. In no way, shape, or form. But he can be a decent starter, and they have a top 8 defense in the league. That defense that was outstanding last year was at least top 10, if not top 7 in the league. Basically, all of them are coming back. Oh my God, not coming back is Sheldon Rankins, who was a decent piece, but you also replace him with Quentin Jefferson. And you add a piece in that secondary in Chuck Clark. It was an underrated move they made to make that trade with the Baltimore Ravens a couple months back. So I'm happy they got him. I'm excited as a Jeff fan. It's something. Will he be there more than a year or two? No. Absolutely not. He's what? 38, 39. He contemplated retirement. He's been contemplating retirement every year, whether he was actually doing it or just doing it to get attention. He said the word I was contemplating retirement the last few years, but he meant it or not is a whole other story. And he's got his warts, Rodgers. I'm not saying he does not. He's got his warts. He's a diva, he's a prima donna, he's soft, he's an attention whore, he's very annoying in that matter. I've never been the biggest fan of him. I haven't loved his antics. But from a football perspective, you cannot say it's a bad move. I don't know how it's a bad move. The Jets got their guy. Didn't give up, I won't say a king's ransom. You move back 2 spots in this first round. You give up a second-round pick in a draft where you have 2 seconds and most likely a first next year. And then you swap the fifth and the 6th. In Green Bay, they wanted the first and the second, and then that's what they got. You move up 2 spots this year. You get an extra second in this year's draft, and most likely an extra first in next year's draft. So, Rodgers is a Jet. Green Bay will now turn over to Jordan Love. I don't have confidence in Jordan Love. I don't think he's very good. But you cannot make a judgment on a guy who's only played, what, 4 games? We shall see what happens. Talk some baseball. Had the Colorado Rockies beat the Cleveland Guardians 6-0. Baltimore beat Boston 5-4. Sale had a rough outing. He has struggled since coming back so far. This year, ERA of 8.2. He stayed healthy through the first about 3.5 weeks, which I'm impressed with, but he has not looked so good. Tampa beats Houston 8-3. Tampa is rolling. They are 20-3. They're 14-0 at home. They have not lost to Tropicana yet. They're 14-0 at home, 20-3 on the year. They're rolling. They are off to a fantastic start. Got the Cubs beat Texas 7-6. Toronto beats the White Sox 5-2. Atlanta beats Miami 11-0. Spencer Strider took a perfect game actually for a while in that game. He had no hitter into the 8th inning and then with 13 strikeouts. Good Strider. He was a clown for what he said, like, oh yeah, the Mets were getting lucky. But he's like he's gonna win the Cy Young one day. He's a fantastic arm for the Braves. Detroit beat Milwaukee 4-2. Minnesota beats the Yankees 6-1. Oakland beats the Angels 11-10. Wait, what? Oakland won a game? Oh, really? Wow, Hold on. Yeah, 11 is better than 10, right? It is, right? It is. Wow. Wow, I can't believe that. Oakland won a game? Damn. Hold on, just make sure. Did someone just declare a national emergency or something? No? Wow. Oakland Athletics won a baseball game? 11-10, 10 innings over the Angels? Wow. I think we're alright. I don't know. I feel like something crazy should have happened. Oakland won the game. Wow. Oakland won a baseball game? Wow. No, I'm just playing. But wow, that's how bad they are. I'm so surprised. Arizona beat Kansas City 5-4, and San Francisco beat the Cardinals 4-0. We got some news. The Pittsburgh Pirates have extended outfielder Brian Reynolds for 8 years and $106.7 million. So Reynolds in the offseason, he wanted an extension. Pirates were lowballing him. He said, y'all are lowballing me. I want to trade. They didn't trade him. He showed up to camp. He basically said, look, I'm here. I still want to be traded, but I'm here. They finally came to an agreement. I think it's a good deal for both sides. I'm really bad at math, so I don't know the AAV off the top of my head. But he gets, I think it's maybe a little over 13 million or something like that. What do you think? 15, 30, 45, 60, 70, yeah, I think it's a little bit over 13 million, maybe 13.5 million. I'm terrible at math, so I'll have that math to you by tomorrow. But that Brian Reynolds gets the long-term deal that he wants, and it does not kill the Pittsburgh Pirates payroll. So that's the largest contract in the history of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I'm glad they got that done. They're playing good baseball, and then they finally spend a little bit of money. So hopefully this is a sign of good things to come finally for the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, let's talk some playoffs, starting with hockey. Dallas beat the Rangers 3-1. Jonas Siegelhofer had the go-ahead goal in the third period. He had a goal and an assist. Jack Hughes had a goal. He's got 3 of the Devils' 6 goals from the series. Churchick had the only goal for the Rangers. Series now tied 2-2. The Rangers got to wake up. You're up 2-0 going back to the Garden. That's a complete missed opportunity. Look, I had the Rangers winning in 7 at the beginning of the series. Devils are no joke. They're very young, but they are very, very good offensively, very, very deep. And goaltending has stepped up. Kira Schmidt had another decent game, but you got a rookie going in there. I know he made 35 saves in Game 3, but I don't think he was doing that again. You can't go in there and have 23 shots on goal and expect to win. I don't care who you're playing. You can't do that. You gotta be better. The Devils were the better team last night. It wasn't even close. Honestly, I'm surprised it was only 3-1. If the Rangers weren't as good defensively, they could have been a lot worse. The Devils were so much faster than the Rangers last night by a long shot. Rangers they have to regroup, and they got to put out a better effort, because what happened last night cannot happen again. They will never win a game, any playoff game against anybody playing like that. Game 3, okay, they had 36 shots on goal. Kira Schmidt stepped up, and and you lost in overtime. It is what it is. But last night, come on, 23 shots on goal. You've got to be kidding me. Got to be better than that. Couldn't get none enough offense. The Leafs beat the Lightning 5-4 in overtime. Leafs were down 4-1 going to the third, 4 unanswered to come back down 3 goals to win in overtime. Alex Killorn had 2 goals in the loss, 2 goals for Austin Matthews. Alex Kerfoot also had a goal. Toronto leads 3-1 over the 3-time defending Eastern Conference champs, Tampa Bay Lightning. So, everything is pointing to Toronto winning the series. I mean, Toronto's up 3-1. What could go wrong? I mean, they could lose 3 games in a row. What I'm getting at is here, what I've seen this movie before. I've seen it like twice, or 3 or 4 or 5 times. How many times has Toronto blown a series lead? How many? I don't even know if I have enough fingers. 2 years ago, in the year that was slightly short because of the pandemic, you had the reline divisions. They got 3-1 against Montreal, who I'm not even sure would have made the postseason if it wasn't for the reline divisions. And they blew it, and of course Montreal ended up going to the Cup final. Last year, they went Tampa 3-2, and they lost. It was like every single year, they go up 3-1 or 3-2, and they lose in 7 games. Toronto's got a lot of vets. They've been to the Cup final 3 years in a row. Besides last year, they won the previous 2. They still got probably the most trustworthy goalie in the postseason in Andrei Vasilevskiy, who hasn't looked great this series, but they still got plenty of vets. Kucherov, Stamkos, Braden Point, Victor Hedman. All these guys have been there for this whole run. If I'm Toronto, I think they need to win Game 5. If it goes to 3-2, now you're playing with the hockey gods. Oh, Toronto's up 3-2. And against the Game 7, we all know Toronto and Game 7 do not go together. So on Toronto, make sure you win Game 5, because then you're playing with the hockey gods. Don't do that. But Toronto could be on the verge of finally winning the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long. Vegas Golden Knights beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. Shea Theodore had 2 assists. Neil Pionk 2 assists in the loss, with Blake Leroy going 1 assist in the loss. Vegas now only 3-1. And the Seattle Kraken beat the Colorado Avalanche 3-2 in overtime. Game winner in overtime for Jordan Eberle. Jaden Schwartz had an assist. McGrattan had both of Colorado's goals. That series is now 2-2. That's been a great series so far. Seattle's a sneaky team. I thought they would definitely make this a series. I had Colorado in 6. That series, I can see going 7 now. We shall see what happens. On to the NBA. The Miami Heat defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 119-114. They go 3-1 in the series. Jimmy freaking Butler. 56 points, 9 rebounds. This dude just went crazy. He had 20 points in the first quarter. And he had 21 more in the fourth quarter. This guy is on another level. He is crazy, this guy. In the regular season, he's very good. He can give you 22, 5, and 5. He's a top 25 player, maybe top 20 player in the league. But once the playoffs hit, this dude's like a top 5 player in the world. I don't know if there's a player in the NBA that I trust more in a playoff game than Jimmy Butler right now. Oh my God. This dude went crazy. And Giannis was playing. Giannis returned. The Bucks were up like 15 or 12 with like 5. They were up 12 with 5 minutes to go, and he came all the way back. Brook Lopez had 36 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. He had a big game, but was not enough to solve the Jimmy Butler masterclass. When it comes to guys, the most points in the playoff game, you had Jordan at 63. Elgin Baylor had 61. You had a bunch of guys with 56. I think Wilt had 56 in a playoff game. Jordan also had 56 in the playoff game. And now Jimmy Butler. Unreal. The 8 seed Miami Heat are 1 game away from beating the 1 seed Bucks. But for Miami, the job isn't finished. We've seen many 3-1 leads get blown in the NBA. The finals in 2016, LeBron and Kyrie came back and beat that great Warriors team. Probably 8 of Doc Rivers' teams. It's happened many times before. If I'm them, I'm going out. I'm taking care of business in Game 5. And the Lakers beat the Memphis Grizzlies 117-111. Austin Reeves had 23 points. LeBron, 22 points, 20 boards, 7 assists. And then AD, short from the field, only had 12 and 11, but he was great defensively. This made 36 points in the loss. They got 3-1. And this is one thing where Memphis's inexperience has really showed. They definitely miss Steven Adams, who's one of the few guys on my team that has playoff experience outside their run to the second round last year. You know, he's their best big man. Even Brandon Clark's got a little bit of playoff experience. He's a good defender to have on your bench. You don't have him either. He's out for the year with an injury. No, he's got tape on that hand. And to me, I think this series might be over. My thing is, Ja has 45, 9, and 13, 6 threes, 22 straight for the Grizzlies at 1 point. So you can't ask a guy with a broken hand to do that again. Ja with a broken hand is not going to give you 4. He give you 45, 9, 13, and 6 threes. At 1 point, had 22 straight points for the Memphis Grizzlies on a broken hand and his shooting hand. His shooting hand is broken. He gave you 45, 9, and 13. And y'all lost. That's where I think they honestly lost the series. Good news is, it goes back to Memphis in Game 5. So, but even if they win Game 5, I don't know if they win in LA in Game 6. So Lakers up 3-1 there. Lauri Markkanen won Most Improved Player. Shout out to him. He averaged 25 points a game this year. Big year for the Utah Jazz. He should be their building block. He had a great year. Shout out to him. Hawks guard Dejounte Murray has been suspended for Game 5 for making contact with an official. My thing is, it's not like he went up and shoved the ref. Or he went up and he was arguing, and he made a little bit of contact with the ref. Yeah, it wasn't much. Like, his shoulder just barely bumped into the ref. But dude, you know the rules. You cannot touch the referee, okay? Doesn't matter if your fingertips skinned them. You can't touch the official, okay? You can't make contact with the official. There's no reason you should be making contact with the official. It's one thing if the official trips, he's standing still, trips and bumps into him. That's another thing. If Dejounte Murray is in the heat of the moment and he trips and falls and knocks his ref, instant contact, that's one thing. But you're getting in the ref's face and like aggressively arguing, and you happen to make contact. Yes, it was an accident, and yes, he barely made contact. But come on, you could argue he deserved a technical foul for the arguing. And now you made contact with the ref on top of it. That's not gonna fly. I mean, my guess is Baltimore's gonna win Game 5 anyway, and then that was gonna be the series. But now they're probably done. Can be a very interesting offseason in Atlanta. I don't know if Trae Young will be back there. We shall see what happens. That's all I really got for you guys. Obviously, there's a zillion different NFL draft stories that are swirling around. I'm hearing that Denver Broncos could take a quarterback in the 3rd round. That's the earliest pick, because they gave up every other pick they had for Russell Wilson, only for us to be absolutely horrendous last year. Part of it was Hackett, but I think partly was on him. We'll see what happens with Sean Payton in there now. Heard maybe Aiden O'Connell and Purdue is their target. I mean, outside of the first 5 quarterbacks, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker, and Will Levis, it's a major drop-off. You don't see another quarterback until at least the 3rd round. I don't think any of these guys, Aiden O'Connell at Purdue, or any of these dudes have any potential to be anything. But I mean, I guess they're just worried that if Russell Wilson does that again, they might just have to cut him. So we shall see what happens. I will be reviewing my mock draft tomorrow. Don't miss it. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.